Queen Bee Books is all about where numbers become like nourishment. It's something that you're diving into with joy. Today is all about you becoming the queen bee of your business so that you're not flinching at your numbers. You're the one who's seeing numbers as a portal. It's something joyful, something interesting, something you want to invest time in. I want you to see that this is like part of a whole system. So Queen Bee Books is the module we're doing today. So this is how the whole system comes together, but they're all building your financial IQ, your clarity, your focus, and they're all part of you becoming a CEO who's magnetic and measured. So we spoke about the identity ascension blueprint, and that was the different levels. We're moving from this like foggy and frustrated into magnetic and measured, which is the top of the pyramid. So you might be at this level right now, foggy and frustrated if like you don't have a Xero file, you haven't been sort of doing much on your accounts. You might be delayed checking your numbers. I know for sure. I've heard this time and time again. And I know for sure Cressida has told me this as well, that it's almost like there's this sense of I'm too scared to look at the numbers because I don't want to really know how bad they are. All right. And so your body's telling you, like, don't look at something bad, but how can it improve if you don't actually see what's there? If you don't actually know how much you spent on certain things, you're not going to stop yourself by doing the same thing again. So you probably are feeling, you're delaying the numbers, you're putting things off. It might be years, it might be months that you don't like put in a routine. Your profit feels invisible even when sales are flowing. So it's not about more sales. It's about keeping more. And I heard this yesterday on another call with another business. They aiming for like millions in their business. But right now, where did the money go? Because it came in, but it went out just as fast. So where is the profit? And the only way you're going to see the profit is by looking at your Xero file, like getting into it and starting to really understand like what makes up profit. Where is your money leaking, as in you're spending too much on things, depleting profit, and then decision making. If you're making decisions based on vibes and feel good and instant gratification, and then after you've made the purchase, you start feeling the guilt. They're like, oh, should I have done that? Should I have checked my budget? Is this something I should be investing in right now? All of these things will come up. And you're only going to stand by big investments when you know that, hey, I know this is a good investment because I'm going to get return on money. I know my cash flow is steady. I have a buffer in place. Then those things don't come up. So we want to move over from this like vibes and urgency decision making into this magnetic and measured, where the view is you're opening your file, your dashboard. So you don't actually have to look at the transactions anymore. You're looking at a dashboard, a summary. The dashboard reflects your growth, what you're focusing on. The numbers are, you can start celebrating because you're like, I'm hitting my benchmark again. I've reached my goals again. I'm better in this area, but maybe I need to work on this area. And you're also tracking what matters. So you really can't scale or improve anything unless you're looking at how to improve and investing time in it. And sometimes you just really need to focus on one thing and do that well. And I know I've been doing this with my podcast. I've been really focused on scaling it, getting it ready for monetization, focusing on improving my listener rate, really focusing on consistency. And then over time, I can see the data, the metrics, the numbers that are showing me what I'm doing is working. And then I'm feeling good, right? Because I've like slowly been improving it. Now I'm feeling amazing. Now I can really step forward with more confidence. But if I didn't see any of the data, I didn't see any of the numbers, I'm just posting episodes, not looking at the episode data, not looking at the statistics or the analytics or comparing, then I could just get lost in the noise. I know Shani made a significant investment this week. She signed up to the CFO package with me and she was like, yes, I did it, but I didn't check my budget, right? And I'm like, no, that's okay. There's certain decisions that are improving your business. It's not like you're going out and buying a car or a depreciating asset. You're actually getting help feeling foggy. So we're going to turn to look at your numbers. We're going to open Xero. We're going to start having a look at the profit and loss, what needs to change. I'm going to give you some core focus areas so that you can start focusing your power and lasering in on your goal and then how it relates to numbers. All right, we're going to go through the 5 metrics to focus on to help you with your decision making. Because when you have one decision, one focus on your business, then you have metrics that back you up. We're going to go through a ritual to help you look at your money and do your money date. Side the work I do, I have a monthly money date. So you will be doing your money date with me because it's just part of the cycle I've set up for you. And that's going to help you be accountable. So next Wednesday, we have the money date. So whatever we're doing today is what then you can bring to your money date next week. So it is a step-by-step process. Today, we're sort of diving into the numbers and the Xero and starting to unpack that. And then next week, we're going to sort of step back and do our money date. I also want to show you how to look at your profit leaks and find where the money and cash is leaking, which areas to look at, maybe how to split out your expenses so you can identify them. So we're going to start the process now. So the process is we're going to open our Xero file. I'm going to do it on the screen and you can follow along. We're going to look at the profit and loss statement. That's showing us revenue less expenses, basically the flow of money through the business. There are 3 main reports, but we're just going to focus on the profit and loss. That's the most important one because it tracks your profit. Then we're going to look at patterns and truths around the profit and loss. So I'm just going to use the standard file and talk through what questions I'd be asking. We're going to pull out some profit leaks. Then we're going to look at banking, what accounts you should have set up so it's easy for you to structure your banking. And then we're going to look at a monthly report or a dashboard style that then you can say, okay, each month I'm looking at these key numbers and that's all I need to track. And once you have that, like I said, I've been doing it with a podcast as well. It's going to give you a lot of information to compare, measure, decide when you can double down on things. And this is the process.